I started to look around. I was tired of simply treating the symptoms. I wanted to get to the cause. And so I started to see things, and no, they weren't hallucinations. I started to read articles on living a gluten-free life. I started to read blogs about athletes living a vegan lifestyle. I started to read articles in magazines talking about things about alkaline-forming foods, all this stuff, and healing foods. And I said, I need a fundamental change. If I'm going to change how I feel, I need a fundamental change. And so I started bringing things into my life. Got rid of some things too. I started getting rid of dairy. I got rid of really all animal products. I removed gluten from my diet. I started eating vegetables that I can't even pronounce. Brought in all kinds of foods into my life. And I have to tell you, the first thing that happened was I had improved energy. The second thing that happened, I had improved performance and stamina. And then there was weight loss, ultimately a total of 23 pounds. And then there was less pain. Less pain. Less pain in the shoulder, less pain in the knee, less pain in the gut. I felt amazing. And the first thing I wanted to do was I wanted to run into the streets and tell everybody, stop eating meat and start eating kale. And then my wife said to me one night, she said, let's order Lou's. And I said, okay, we love Lou Malnati's. So I got on the phone, ordered the Lou's, the usual. They dropped it off, we sat down and we ate it. And it was awesome. But afterwards, I felt terrible. And beyond feeling terrible, I was confused. How can I run in the street at night and tell people to stop eating dairy, stop eating meat, and start eating kale and weird vegetables if I just killed half a Lou Malnati's pizza? How can I do that? I'd be a fraud. And so I went to bed confused and not feeling so hot. And the next morning I woke up and I immediately poured my bowl of organic maple buckwheat flakes and went back into my own nutrient-dense world. And I felt amazing. Actually, I felt beyond amazing. I felt incredible. And I realized I don't need to run into the street at night and tell people they need to stop eating meat and dairy, start eating weird green vegetables. We know this information. We've seen it on the news enough times. Oprah's told us before when she was on. Dr. Oz tells us every afternoon. We know this information. Where I needed to spend my time was figure out how we can get people to apply the information we already have into our lives. That was the issue. And so I started to meditate. I started to think, what can I do? What can I do? How can I get people to apply the information they already have in their lives? How can I get them to implement it into their lives? And the first thing I wanted to do is figure out, well, where have we been? What's been going on with these diets that people have already been on? I've been a trainer for years. People have been on all kinds of stuff. What's been going on? Well, first, I know they focus on calories. Ladies and gentlemen, there are no calories in your food. I repeat, there are no calories in your food. Calories were invented in the 1800s by guys trying to figure out how much heat it would take to raise 1 kilogram of water 1 degree Celsius. That unit of measure is a calorie, and in the late 1800s they applied it to food. But there are no calories in your food. There are only nutrients and lack thereof. No calories in the food. Number two, points. These diets have been focusing on counting points. I'm sorry. When I'm having Lou Malnati's with my wife, I'm not counting anything about it except for how many slices of pizza I might get down in that one sitting. I'm not going to count points for the rest of my life. There's no way. And the next thing these diets do, they either force you to be on something or off of something else. That's not realistic. That's not realistic for my life. That's not realistic for your life. And that's why they're crash diets. They don't work, and they fail. And so I meditated on that for a little while, but then I thought, well, that's where they're failing. Where are we failing as a people? Where are we coming up short? The great Western dilemma is that we live superficial lives focused solely on the material and not enough on what's real. Everything we want in life, we want to happen now. We don't want to work for much. Trees that endure storms take deeper roots. Dolly Parton said that, and although I'm not the biggest country music fan, I'm more of a southern rock guy myself, those words resonate deeply with me. We don't want to work for anything anymore. We don't want to take the time to grow. We don't want to take the time to become. And so putting all this together, I knew I needed something that was based on something real, not calories and points. I needed something that would allow people the opportunity to grow, to become. And that's when I came up with the multi-mode method of eating.